Welcome in. Yes, officially, this will be the last scheduled public super chat. Now, that is something we're going to go into within this session, and what will be replacing it, we will be mentioning. So, we're going to move you guys into the waiting room as people enter, and then we'll get straight into our update and the live super chats. Yes, we are early. Good grief. How has Yildiz got early? We do have some content out at the minute. For those of you that don't know, I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings, and I don't look as flash today, but nevertheless, we are trying to balance moving into this eclipse. So how have we all been feeling? I have been giving some pointers to the members, which is another reason why, as I mentioned, which I did have it streaming down the bottom, we're going to chuck it back up. This is going to be the last official super chat that's scheduled. Now, it doesn't mean I won't offer super chats in the future, be it this year, be it future. But at the moment, this is the last official scheduled because as to all these eclipses, the energy preparing for 2026, building out the members' content and getting the evergreen content out to you guys, I'm shifting my attention to that. Now, the other thing is we do actually have a sale on at the moment, and that directly is in offer for you guys between September all the way through to December. Any amount of bookings you desire to get, I have discounted the weekends as well as the weekdays for telephone and team video call bookings. The other thing is, if you do kind of pivot forward in the calendar, we do have some Tuesdays open in the mornings. It's staggered because I do have to do content on Tuesdays. So you will be able to actually find a morning and an afternoon slot there during the week. So if you do go through, you'll be able to see those. Now, it doesn't mean, as I said, that we will not be doing super chats. The way more than likely it will go about is that if we do a live update, and many moons ago, I used to be up at 3:00 in the morning coming live to you guys, that any of those lives that we actually host, be it it's an energy update, an astrology update, at the very end of it, if there is room, I will leave space and make a statement that the super chats are open. But as I mentioned, there is the actual e-learning I'm going to be connecting with. If you do also go to the website, there are some changes happening there. If you ever find you land on the website and it's glitchy, PM me, because 9 times out of 10 it is because I'm editing it, because I am adding a lot more features to it. And we will be getting a new email provider so that those of you that have opted in, you will receive newsletters, up and coming webinars or events, but the webinars and event page is going to be built out. I'm already working in the background getting that content ready. I'm also creating some care packages because I'm needing to look at ways I can be resourceful to the collective, but also provide you with the tools so that you can actually have an understanding to how certain transits are going to be, tools, when you're working with karmic cycles, say you've been ghosted and you're not actually hearing from this person, how to turn the situation about. So I will be hosting webinars and events via the website. So even though at the moment it is not showing anything in there, believe me, I'm creating them in the next few weeks, fingers crossed, away from the eclipse. I'll start plugging them in, and you can either opt into them and sign up for notifications on them. Anything else I need to say? Just basically that there is a clock connecting to this, so basically it will combust and those offers will be closed, so do jump on and grab them. Now we will check in with you guys in the chat. We'll chuck the chat up in the side. Yes, I am early, and I'm also what was the other thing? We are going to be creating event rooms inside the membership. So that is going to be a separate section. And, you know, it's great really having the key members in there at the moment, because we're checking the functionality, we're adding features to it. So because this content is coming, there's going to be portions that's going to be given to YouTube. There's going to be portions that's streamlined to like mini courses, cohort courses, and then it's going to be a separate kind of entity inside of Sage Inner Circle Network, where it will be the e-learning. So you can purchase a whole module, you can purchase a component, and obviously we'll have that, you know, within the membership as well. So if you do want to get onto the membership, you can actually go directly below, and all the information and the landing page will be there. And we are open at the moment to submissions if you do want to jump on, and you can get on the second round offers. The next set of offers will be in 2027. No, 2026. Don't get ahead of yourself. Could be 2027. Anything's possible, right? So we'll leave it at that at this point. So have we all been doing? Are we prepping for the eclipse? Do we understand the context of it? What subjects have been landing for you guys moving into this cycle? Now, you know, I was really doing some research on the chakras. That's another webinar I will actually be hosting, is understanding your chakras, and some things I've actually grown to understand over the years relating to your chakras. We're going to be hosting meditation sessions as well, which will have a care package with it. So depending on the cycle and where it is and how complex it is, that guided meditation, you'll have an introduction into it. There will be a workshop. There will be a toolkit that you go away with, so that through the process of going into the ingress of that eclipse and the, you know, going out, you actually can have yourself really prepared for that moving forward. Hi, lady. Did you get my PayPal? I don't know, Dawn. Got no idea. I'll have a look. Yes, I can add you. I'll add you. Yes, I have. So now, as to your chakras, what you're going to find is within your chakras at the moment, it is very common for some of you, and this is what some of the things is that you can be experiencing. Anything down to, and you know, where it comes to, it's going to be important. Number one is the element of Virgo is Mercury in nature. So, you know, I was having a bit of a chat to the members, and we were talking about, you know, body-related symptoms, and some things can crop up. We can be frustrated. We can be looking at finances, for instance. You know, we can be looking at nutrition, our diet, our image, how we feel about ourselves, the devil in the detail, overwhelm of information, what to believe, what not to believe. But within our bodies, especially through this ascension process, I can gospelly tell you, I cannot wait till next year. I cannot wait. And I'm sure those of you that are Pisces and Virgo probably say exactly the same. It's this set of eclipses was always going to be more impactful, because the introduction to the eclipse cycle happened last year, away from the nodes actually being in that set. So this is the first where they're both together, both making that subject matter. And, you know, anything down to, how would I explain it? It's like changing our ways, changing our routines. I would gospelly believe that many of you have had to take on so much more than necessary. And having to, it's really formed and refined who you are, because it showed you how much more you can take, even if you wouldn't like to be. It has showed you ways you can restructure your routine, but it could be that for some of us, if those pivots, it has been that we've taken on too much, that we're forced to actually do something in a different way, and to have that courage and to do it and to jump in the deep end. It can be very psychological between this month moving into October. And many people can be looking at jobs. It could be looking at your finances, looking at ways that you can be, balancing your health as well. It could be that your health has been impacting how you've been working. It might be that, so it's finances, it's health, it's spirituality. You could have people that are passed over. There are these endings and new beginnings, culture and belief systems also, and feeling maybe cross at things if you're getting too dense in that reality. But how to balance your body. We're going to go very quickly into it before we jump into the super chats. Now, it can be for some of you that over the last 3 weeks, you have experienced feeling like you're dehydrated. Could be third eye activation or a blockage. And for some of you, it is actually a blockage. Because when you look at the chakra system, you have the base where you need your footings. And when you are going through a purgatory cycle, what's going to happen is you're clearing through the chakras stuck energy. And it goes through all the chakras. Now, at the moment, the 2 eclipses are kind of like this within your aura. This is where you're needing to be. And this between here is where you're clearing. Now, the problem can be is if it's Mercury in nature, the food that you're eating, moving into this eclipse, it is better to eat very, very light. I would say, look, I'm on a fluid diet at the minute, doing a detox. Because of how these eclipses directly have impacted me. It's really flushing and clearing, getting the inner gut health correct so that I can actually process, and like a vehicle, your body is actually going to function more effectively for you moving forward. Now, so you could have headaches. You might have lower back aches, tummy, feeling unsettled in the tummy, nervousness, agitation, needing a quiet environment, and, just feeling it's better not to add too much on your plate at the minute. Now, as to breakthroughs, I do feel for a lot of you are going to have breakthroughs. There can be paranoia also separately, to do with the stock market, to do with finances. And I think that is not quite yet. It doesn't mean it can't look bad, and it doesn't mean people won't panic, but I don't feel that just yet. Not completely. What else? Okay, so how can you balance? I would be keeping your fluid up. You could be very sensitive to light at the moment, which is really chasing me off because that light's right in my face. Making sure that you have, your electrolytes inside your body to keep you hydrated. The other thing can be you can use gems. Great time to actually clear the home, but if you feel very tired and unmotivated, do your best and just look after your body. That's what I would say. 9 times out of 10, it's better not to sign anything during eclipses and to really kind of understand what the context of it is. But I do feel for a lot of you can have some really radical ideas that would really be open to that, because I think in the context of it, if you've had some blockages over the last few years, and this could be all the way back to 2017, it may be that you're turning something old into something new. It could be, for some of you, you're going about life in a different way, and it might be asking you to respond in a different way, okay? So it doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It's more than likely going to be a shift. Now, for Pisces and Virgos, it can be very difficult, this lunation, but if you flow through it, you'll have a deeper understanding about yourself, and you will be able to see both your side and another person's side. And you may find you will be more successful doing it that way than other. Now, it can be that we do need to address things during this time, and then in that case, we have absolutely no choice. For some of you, it could be you're putting the stepping stones down, moving into 2026. So you're trying to keep your footing, but you're trying to do it in a more detached manner where you have your eye on the goal, you're keeping grounded, and you'll deal with anything that comes at the side as you proceed forward. Any questions? That's where I'm at. I'm doing self-care. Yeah, you do need to. We are going to have more planets actually move retrograde, which is, going to kind of make us feel as though, it's best not to feel frustrated right about now. This was a year of introduction to all the planets where they were going to be sitting. Then they've moved backwards again. So you just, it's hard enough moving into a cycle where so many planets were moving, and we had retrogrades with Mars and then Venus. So our bodies are very tired. The frustration factor can be there. But as we are moving forward, a lot of what we've received this year is going to make more sense moving into 2026. And we can have more luck in that area. And it's going to be quite fast paced. So, yeah, just pace yourself at this point. Okay, we're going to pull one card for the current energy. Yeah, crown chakra. So you're trying to clear. So how do you clear the energy? Coming from the footing and the foundation, getting grounded, is, doing a bit of detox, and it can be clearing the environment. It could be clearing your body, increasing that fluid intake. But as they say, as above, as below. So even though we did have the Pisces energy, which can be very psychic, very spiritual, a lot of you can be having sort of like the feeling where you are seeing things, so your third eye can be actually more active. When you will always know you've got a blockage, because you'll get symptoms. It can be headaches. It can feel headaches, distortion, ego, feeling 3D, like you can only see one way. That's where the third eye is really blocked. And so, by clearing your gut, the more research you do on gut health, the more you'll realize it can intercept and affect, your third eye and your cognitive ability. So a lot of times the way we actually are able to channel is when you're in, I would say, in a lulled state, but also in a good state where you're quite detached within your ego. If you have a lot of crossness or angerness, you're not going to be able to channel properly. So it's best to, always do that detox for yourself first, have that revelation. 9 times out of 10, if you are working with clients, you're going to find that whatever you're currently going through at that point in time, whatever that lesson or that purgatory experience is, you're going to be able to share with other people around you. So it's going to help you in some way. If you honor what you need to do first, then go help them, because it's more than likely something in the context of what you were going to do for this person. So yeah, clearing, being careful around water as well, especially because it is the North Node. Around water, around food, being careful, you looking at the use by date, because as I said, as above, as below, you want to be okay moving into October, and this is setting you up for a new cycle. Okay, we are going to get into the reads. We'll chuck the, pardon me, we will place the list above. Okay, so we have Cosmic Journey. How are you doing, Cosmic Journey? I swear all of a sudden I thought I heard right. I thought it was funny whenever anyone's been asking, I can't wait for this rain to go. And I went, yeah, well, it's kind of where we would be moving into a transition of seasons. You're just really going to find, the North Node in Pisces is water, which means, okay, lots of water. Virgo with Mercury, wind, cluster and solar maximum, and everything is, one message I did get psychically was, it's almost like we are having these, I can't say morphed realities. I don't feel it's morphed realities. I feel there are multiple timelines coming in and multiple perspectives of reality. And it felt almost like the realm was very thin. And that 9 times out of 10 is due to the psychic energy being Pisces. And it can be that souls that had chose to incarnate or exit are doing such at this point in time. It can be quite spiritual. Individuals around you also can be very spiritual. You're hanging in there. Good girl. Got to be gentle to yourself, especially with these eclipses. Look, you could feel upset, you could feel purgatory, but just realize that who you're becoming on the opposite side of this, it's more than likely, especially say when you're not within reunion. 9 times out of 10, it's doing the shadow work associated to previous people, how we were held back, why we do what we do, why we are paying attention to this area. It can be that your huge focus has been on maybe money and value and self-esteem and confidence and relationship and empowerment. So you probably had your eye on key areas and trying to be detached, even though it's almost like you want to hold on to it and get something moving. And you have this, it could be that you get tunnel vision, like it's just not going to change. And, we can pivot. We can always feel as though you're feeling lackluster, unmotivated, can't manifest, can't co-create it. Where are these imbalances happening within it? And sometimes it is physically when we just let go. It's all year now, especially in the context of Pisces. I have heard the song Trustful, and it is very much that. It's like very similar to in Mother Nature. Everything happens quite organically and naturally. Humans have this perspective where within the ego, we have to intervene and do something. And sometimes it is about letting go and trusting the process, but we can feel within our co-creativity, like it's not natural for us. It's just not natural. You may be letting go of responsibility of needing to make everything perfect or needing everything to look a certain way, but there can be some disillusionment that you directly are experiencing. And I'll just be really gentle with yourself. I actually do have trust in the process. I just keep getting, when you do less, you get more. I really do believe that. It's bloody ironic, but the less you do, the more you get. Humans don't like that. We're like, no, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to be busy. It's like, yep, stop. Think about the seeds you want to plant for your future. Think about the things that you want. But there could have been some revelation that you had. This could have been from a previous connection, because I'm just noticing the way they're holding very dearly to this, this seed. It's something there with a relationship where there's a lesson in this. There's something in the past that is cropping back up. It might be because it's mirroring inside of your romantic interest path. And the way you're perceiving it could be through your own version of your own story, and you're feeling it's going to pan out in the same way. Separately, what they're saying is you also might find that you've been carrying something that was holding you back spiritually. And it's going to, if it does come up, it's actually going to free you from that circumstance. And it's going to feel a lot lighter on the other side of this. Tension can be running high, and it's almost like tension can be coming to a head. You felt like you needed to do something. Now, you'll only ever do what your body wants to do. So what do I mean by that? Don't get mad at yourself and say, I could have been somewhere else if I just made a decision. Because sometimes the pressure point is not so much making a decision, but speaking your truth. And then what happens is we get to a cross ground, a T-section in the road, and then we get angry. So I think it's about coming into this balance of honoring the things you need to say. You do feel at times when you have said things, it's kind of gone on deaf ears. Even though you do want to be, you feel you need to make a judgment, you feel you need to leave it to the guides. You could be looking at a circumstance that this person is dealing with, and it could be around family finances, and you're kind of like, that's out of their hands. So it feels like you're going in this circular motion with it, but your soul's saying it doesn't want to do that. So it's needing to bake the cake differently. It's almost like you're trying to find a solution to this subconsciously without knowing. And there is the sneaking feeling that either A, you want to change your approach, or it's that a change of approach is in the midst. Hmm. It's funny. You might notice a pattern that's coming through in you, very separate to this romantic connection, and it's a bit of a message. And it's something. It's weird because even tuning into these cards, it's a revelation I had yesterday. Like I said, sometimes the solution's right under our nose, and we're like, "Oh, I can't believe I didn't say that." I do feel this love interest is also going through that, and I do think it's something to do with finances. It's almost like there is an easier way of addressing this situation, and it's right under their nose, and they just didn't see it. And I do think there's a possibility of some significant light bulb moment and an ability to actually, change this process around. Something that's really blocked them and stifled them for a very long day. You're having a black moon Lilith return. Well, love yourself. Just go into acceptance of yourself, love. A black moon is not bad. It's it's honoring who you are, regardless of others' perspectives. Lord. Okay, cosmic journey. What are they trying to show me here? Your aura is so not the same anymore, cosmic journey, honestly. It's really changed over the year. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. I do get that you are acutely aware of how manipulative this person is. And I do not mean the romantic interest. This person at times does come through almost, yeah, it just oozes manipulation. And I think this is a third party energy. It's almost like I need this or I need that or I'm unable to do that. And this is getting old. Do you get what I'm saying? I do not have a bad feeling for you. However you relate to this, they're saying it's going to have a good outcome, which is nice to hear. It's like, okay, so if you were to say how you felt, if you were to go and have fun and to just go, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, go do it. It's kind of like I just don't think you're going to lose her. You're not going to need to be perfect. You're not going to be everything. You don't need to change anything. This person is seriously addressing it. It's really weird. The more you pull back, honestly, the more I'm feeling this person is being attracted into you. It's like you're going to have this attitude that comes through where you just want to be fancy free, go play, go have fun, go party. And it sounds really cliche, but it's just this very almost like nonchalant vibration where suddenly they're kind of like, oi, where are you going? Don't leave me here. Babysitting, that's kind of what's coming through. Yeah, you're like, look, okay, you want to see it the way you want to see it. You're just ready to, you don't want to say anything wrong. You empathize, you understand, you're quite fed up with certain things. You're evolving in the way you're communicating. You want a better day. You know that the love that you feel for this person's not going to change, but you also have changed. I hope that helps. Black Moon Lilith return. I felt pretty crappy last week. I've really like this year sucked. Yeah. Has it been the worst year of my life? No. I have lost a lot of people, I'd say that. People have really pissed me off as well, but it made me realize a larger empathy and a larger patience that I never knew I had. Most welcome, Swope. Okay, so who do we have next? Yeah, it really doesn't look bad, Cosmic Journey. It really doesn't. You're like, look, if you want to feel sorry for Miss Stacey, person's, yeah, you're just like, oh. People at work agrees. Look, a lot of people are going to be transitioning. You think back to 2020, we were all kind of having a brain attack to do with the fact that we had to be home, and I'd done that year before. So that was an experience I had transitioned through in isolation prior, and really, going through the dark night of the soul, I didn't have a great deal of people around me. We have to understand that a lot of people in the collective are going through the dark night of the soul. And having these revelations of what's real and what's not, and kind of in that context, then going, the world is not how I thought it was. And it can be very, be it it's a job we're viewing from a different perspective, or a group, or a family, or a friendship sign, whatever those things are, they can be very, very troubling to have to face the fact of a circumstance. So as we're moving through into 2026, it's going to be bold. We went from empathizing with each other collectively through COVID, and then we moved into a cycle of all of us moving online and socialization. And, I remember seeing videos online of people singing in the streets, and it went global. And there was this beautiful connection where we all collectively were going through something very similar. Now with the Pisces energy, we almost have that martyrdom energy. We have this distortion of victim consciousness, and even when I was talking to my partner, because we work in a job together as well as I do this, and any statement they were making, I was making myself acutely aware of where I was saying I was a victim. And I was like, that's right, love. We are victims. We're victims. Almost to make it to acknowledge how many times I was actually utilizing that, for being tired, for having the injustice of the economy, whatever it is. And then you're kind of detaching from it and just realizing that you are having your own experience, but there's millions of people having theirs as well. And so, from that, really having an empathy and understanding, being that I've got Libra in my chart, there are in life two sides to every story. In the old days, I would be very careful about what I would write, what I would share, what I would say online. And I think it's this year what we're being forced to do moving into 2026 is you're going to get some courage and balls about you. You're going to have to actually decipher between what is real and what you would like to imagine is real. Okay, because there is a box has multiple sides, so that is what we're all going to be facing. We're going to need courage. We're going to need to accept ourselves as independent individual people, and not kind of look. You will need groups. We do see a lot of that coming through with the age of Aquarius, and the nodes will move mid-year, I believe. Other than that, you are going to see a lot more people being vocal. It's where it's getting to. It's part of a circular nature. You go back to the French Revolution. So we are going to see people being more opinionated. But it is not in a narcissistic way. It is a collective energy that's going to come through. So what you see at the end of this year and slightly moving into 2026 is this side and that side. And we see, the Pisces energy of no entry to certain cultures or no entry anymore. We have no room. I think that's really going to shift as we're moving into the Aquarius energy, which still could be groups, but it's not going to be in the same fashion we've been experiencing it so much this year, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have to update this super chart. And we have Tracy. How you doing, doll? Because again, we are all going through this. And when you think of Aquarius, in Pluto, okay, Pluto is like the compost heap, right? We're digging to the bottom of that compost heap to find what's resourceful. This moon is doing the same thing. What works, what doesn't, what do we have to discard, what do we have to let go of? So for you, you have, Tracy, base chakra in reverse, which does make sense to me because even in your zodiac sign and your chakra, you feel like old footings aren't stable. This could be making you agitated. It could be making you feel like, do I connect? Do I belong? Do I connect? Where do I need to be? Does my family understand me? Where do my roots come from? Should I even live where I'm living right now? Is this job the correct job for me? But again, it's your base chakra. Your body also is going through a huge upgrade. And although you might be feeling in your life you are not where you need to be, believe me, as you're moving into 2026, everything you personally wish to achieve in your life, you will be able to do such. It might not feel that way right now. Look at the end goal, okay? Whatever it is, be it it's love, be it it's life, be it it's where you're living, the money that you're bringing in. I feel as though those things are going to really foot. Now, there can be that there is something that is thrown into a kind of a bit of chaos. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm actually seeing lately the chaos as an absolute necessity for change. And so the thing is, when we're very comfortable, nothing changes. When we are put under pressure, it makes us or breaks us. But what breaks us means we're now no longer doing that. We're learning a lesson from it. We're moving away. I actually think the biggest change comes from adversity. And it's because it sort of forces it. It makes us get real, really real, you know? Okay. You're like, I've got to move forward. I've got to move forward. I need to move away from an old conflicting situation, be it it's marriage, contract, partnership. I just need to move forward. Something can be coming back from the past. It is to do with destiny, okay? You do have a destined path. Even if you might feel at times nothing is happening for you, your guides are wanting you to know that any stagnation is temporary. It might affect, and I don't know how many of you, I guarantee there's been hundreds of you that have done this lately. Have you ever been listening to a reading and you're like, if you were more grounded, you would probably respond to the vibration of the reading more positively. But it could be that you're having, you're walking around the house, you're cleaning, you're listening to an audio. It might be your zodiac sign. It could be a tarot reading. And they're saying something positive about where you're at. And you're like, yeah, right. It's kind of that vibration I think we collectively are going through at the moment. So somebody can tell you that something is going to be positive. But the thing is that Pisces placement has affected us for several years now. It hasn't just been with the nodes. There's been Saturn, there's been other positions, there's been Chiron. So I do feel you as well in your life, to do with your love life, to do with these adversities you've had, the way people have perceived you, Chiron in Aries as well. You are the way shower. You are going to feel when you're having a new beginning, we are a child in that new beginning because it's the 0 degree. So you could feel, oh my gosh, if I let go and have this new beginning, who the heck am I going to be? But when you've had so much taken from you, there's less fear, okay? Because it's like, well, what else are you going to take? My socks? It's this invincible energy, but not in an egotistical way, in quite a detached way. And I think you're up for some changes here. I don't think these changes are bad. I think they're quite positive. I think you also might have wanted to make a change, but you had made a delay, and you're having the strength. Just have the strength to keep moving forward. Because what I do see for you moving is very, very positive. Rest if you need to. If you want to make a decision and you come to a crossroad where you have to make a decision, you will know what to make a decision on. You, even if it is a leap of faith and you won't know how that's going to look, you're going to have the courage to do it. So they're saying, while you need to rest. Whatever seeds you're wanting to plant, wherever you're wanting to be, it is going to come to you. If you are feeling that you're pulled back, it is temporary and it's for a reason, but it's not going to be for years and years. Okay? I hope that helps. And we have research clue. I better update the list. I look at Dawn's. I put yours in capital letters and everyone lowercase. Dawn! Like your mum when she's shouting, or your dad. Dawn! No, you know when your parents use your whole name, you're stuffed. Yeah, man. When my mother would call, no, was I scared of? No, it's my father. Yeah, I have so much respect for that, man. My grandmother was scarier. If she used my full name, she didn't even need to use my name. She'd look at me like this, and she'd look over her shoulder. How you doing, Leonix? Okay, so we have a research clue, and I have pinched my neck. It's driving me crazy today. I can't think what I did. Probably the way I slept. Okay. Oh. Girl. Okay. Breathe with me. Breathe with me, research. I love your readings. I love your readings. You want to whoop some ass. You literally have Mercury coming through in your throat chakra. It's an eclipse. Breathe. Give yourself CPR. Would love to know what is coming out this week. No, more breathing from a point of don't be a fly starter. It's going to be okay. Okay, there could be, look, you could actually, look, some paperwork could come in for you, which is positive. It could be an application, it could be an offer. You have, but your creativity level is going to become more productive. People that have Mars placements, how can I explain it? Getting to the root cause of it. You being an empath based on your astrology and your star sign, and that's because I coach you and we work together. You are going to feel that energy more so. So it's important to not tune into, say, there's a person at the office that's a real jerk. If you think on them too long, you will embody their vibration. And believe me, it's almost like you've taken on their body energy, and you'd love an exorcism because you can feel everything they go through and you can start actually exhibiting personality traits of them. So it's important to not tune into that energy too much. The creativity, however, you might have had some massive, massive ideas. Massive ideas. And so you're going to want to implement these all at once, but you're worn out. You can't, right? They're saying, slow down. You are creating bridges and steps to remove obstacles where there was obstacles and interference before. And I look at this as an overall overarching energy. I'm not feeling this as a person as per se. I'm feeling it's in general conflicts of interest, blockages, delays, people taking from you what you built up, and you're like, you know what? I'm taking all my juice. You've had some clarity. Look how it's coming through. You're not letting interferences affect you. You're like, no. Now, the first thing I got was people better be careful how they communicate with you. You are going to communicate effectively. It's in the upright position. But you're finding creative ways to move through here. I heard the term butter wouldn't melt, but I actually do think you have the gift of the gab, okay? While other people are skipping on their merry way, you will have the last laugh, okay? But don't go to extremes. I feel you've learned something. I feel you have your eye on the goal. You want to protect your home, your family. You want to have a break. You want to have clarity. I think you've already made your mind up. I really do. I really do. I think although you are wanting to have a safe space, everything you need, something in that's changing. I don't think it's not going to be safe. I just think you're having a different perspective on home environment. And just don't give them something to talk about as yet. You will in the long run, but don't give them something to talk about. You have some dirt on somebody. Somebody here is actually looking in at you like, what have I done? I think they've had a revelation that you were the one. And now they feel like they've just sabotaged themselves with the devil. It's like, I've just messed up. What have I done? I've messed up. Interesting. They just showed me this view. Okay. With all men. Well, you know, it's not over with all men. In your mind and the emotion it is. For you, how do I explain it? Was there a moment you felt with your TF that you would have liked to have had the shoe on the other foot? It might have been easier. Did you have a perspective it was easier for them than you? Because now it's like the role has reversed and you are doing the walking and this person is the one that's being left behind in a different situational shift. So they're saying that if you did have a perspective that it would be easier, now how is it? Is it? It's still hurt, right? It's still hurt. We get these lessons. You're ending a cycle. You're ending a cycle. And as you detach, it will open up the next chapter. But yeah, our perspectives are always re-educated upon by living a person's experience. Now, can you look at the reasons why maybe they chose to do what they did, this individual here, so that you can see TF's different perspective? Yeah. And then we look at how we go through processes and how we directly, in some shape or form, did the same to ourselves. And so when we know better, we actually do better. So now you can let go of the belief that it was easier because they're just lessons regardless. And the lessons do change us. And we don't want to be that energy again. Sometimes, unfortunately, and my daughter said this 100 times, Mum, sometimes people have to do things the hard way. And that's how they learn. And I was like, well, okay then. Okay. The outcome. You're dotting your T's and crossing your I's. You're heading to abundance. You will attract things in, but at the moment, you have survival on your mind. Now, the funny thing is, they're saying, do not look at survival. Because that is going to limit you. That vibration will limit you. And it will make you feel like you're on another battleground. They're saying, no, universe is always going to give you what you need. Don't feel you have to battle. Allow that energy to come into you, because that's something in the Virgo energy. It's more the intuitive energy. It's moving to the spirituality as the vibration's correct. It's like this money's just going to pour to you. But it's a little bit like if you hold on and you don't let any kind of flow, the water gets stagnant, right? It could be giving a gold coin to charity or something to that degree to allow the chi to flow again. You could get a message through your dreams, but this person's regretful. They're very regretful. They're like, I messed up. If I was going to pick anyone, I should have left and I should have picked you. That's what I'm getting. Okay, we are moving on to the next individual, Leo next. Leo next. Again. You're most welcome. But yeah, don't think you're not going to get that kind of wealth flow, because it's almost like then we're in a battle. We're sending a signature to universe that we've got to fight for it. Yeah, we don't want to be doing that. So don't forget, you all, this is the last super chat to the public. We are still having super chats and the members. So if you want to join the members, get on the list, the second round. You can actually get in there and have that. Love life, please. Well, things in October are going to shift for you. Big time. Pluto is, whenever I say that, I'm like, oh God, what are we in for? Carnage on the dance floor. You've been thinking about reaching out to this person. But you won't. My lights and internet is going in and out. Yes, well, solar flares is supposed to be incoming, I think, to America anyway. And yesterday, all day, on, off. I think we'll have it worse when Uranus moves back into Taurus. That'll be interesting. Mind you, Gemini can be internet, so you've got to be careful with your internet security. Yeah, it's an interesting time for online trade as well. I mean, you've got technology involved. You've got the Sun and Maximum. You've got Uranus and Gemini. It's like back everything up. Always back everything up. Have something tangible as well. Okay, so you have got communication and family. You know how eclipses go. This is the time to not really make any emotional moves. Sit with the emotion. Give it a day to 2 days, and I feel you're going to feel more logical and rational about the decision you need to make. Try and not seek outside yourself for this. You want to be nurtured, but you feel, and try to not look at this as in, oh, I put my eggs all in one basket, this is all I've got, or oh my gosh, this is a burden. Try and turn around and nest, recover, get enough sleep, listen to audio if you need to go to sleep. Because the feelings emotionally are going to be that everything's over, right? But there's something in the heart space you need to move through so that this can actually transition. You could be wondering when all the drama is over. I do feel that this person is actually, I don't know, it looks like they could be in a bit of trouble. We have the judge here. This could be more so in your heart. It's something you're really worried about. Like, where are they going to be? What are they going to do? Are you ready? Are they ready? Would you jump? Would you go elsewhere? It's keeping you up at times at night. But I think the thing is, we should always just live for the today, because generally 9 times out of 10 we're our own worst enemy, and we co-create all these belief systems, and we then don't know how we'll respond, but when it comes, we respond. Does that make sense? You don't trust them. There are wounds here from previous situations that have been causing interference. You feel like it's difficult to get past certain things. It's difficult to believe that something won't be taken from you. You don't want to be angry anymore. You feel that you're angry all the time, and you just don't want to be angry anymore. You want to feel like you're home, like you're doing something, like you're moving forward in your life. And you just keep feeling like anytime something good comes to you, it's like something bad comes to you. So there is this negativity that's kind of, and it could be because of the transits, but it feels as though there's a negativity around it. And they're asking you to get grounded, to do some meditation, and to see on the other side. But it's more to get, balanced. It's more getting that balance. I would say after this eclipse, really sit and pause. Sit, pause, and reflect. And even from this moment in, looking at how you feel, what you're doing, what you want to achieve, whatever blockage comes up, write it down. Ask the universe to protect. Yeah, because every card that's come up to do with them, worrying about, how do I explain it? This situation with this person and the silence is forcing you to face your fears. So fears I'll show you the cards, okay? There is the row we are questioning, and each card is saying a similar thing. You are worried that the person is in harm's way due to things that are happening in the world. And then it can pull you from being empathetic and understanding to you a player. So you do want to be with them, right? You want to move forward, you want to join, you want to connect. But some of the energy at times feels like an enemy, and it's about, not repeating these patterns. Sometimes we can say it's the person that's doing it, but the energy is combined. It's combined energy. On the front of sacrifices and things that each of you do, you're like, I don't get it. Like, do I have a right to ask for help? Do I have a right to have the person come in and do the things they need to do, regardless of whether you are or aren't married? Whose role is what? What should each do? Is that person going to move forward? It's weird because the context that was being shown to me is you do worry about, are they going to be here? What if they pass away? Is everything going to be fine? Like, there's a lot of worry. And that worry is actually doing absolutely nothing. But by the time you go through that vibration, you're then getting angry. You're angry, and that was an emotion that you went through. Do you get what I'm saying? So they're saying, as to the context of the conversation, you do feel that they should be mature enough about it. But again, it's up to you how you take this. You want to talk to them. But what are your methods moving forward with the conversation and the communication? Have you dealt with the inner child? Can you, if it's about the child, it's about the child. A text message will do. If when they're ready, they can contact you back. If it's to do with courage and confidence and being yourself and wanting to create a new future, how can the Mercury energy actually transform away from ego so that you can actually have that visualization for the near future? I do think you need to both have a conversation. Clarify. Pull those up. Advice for Leo next. But I would probably do it after the eclipse because you don't want something to be emotionally driven. Yeah. But there is definitely going to be communication. Sometimes you feel they're not here. It's like, are they here still? That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Well, so just notice the pattern because, like Virgo is a pattern as well. It's the analytics, it's the detail. Okay, what's actually causing this? It's like the lobotomy of a situation. So sometimes we can get to the root cause of a wound or a belief system. And how that could be, like, we all want to know where we have a part in it. So sometimes when we hear I've had a part in something, it means I'm the bad guy. No, not necessarily. A part in a behavior doesn't mean to say we're coherent about a situation. We had pain. Yeah. Look, a statement of I miss you is, it's not requiring a statement back, but don't get angry when that person does not respond. You're giving because you choose to, not because you feel owed. That's not love. You give because you desire to, and what they do with it, that is theirs. Be it, and just because somebody doesn't respond, it does not mean you're not cared about. Respect people's choice to react the way they react. Respect it and don't personalize it. That's the shadow work. Okay, one advice card for you. Yeah. Tame the communication. Healthy thoughts, healthy actions, healthy words. Being aware of the patterns and the triggers, but not going back into them. Okay. And we have last but not least, Dawn. And edit that. What's happening, Dawn? I have clients today as well. Better get my shit together. So, have you been tired and foggy? I was actually thinking about you the other day. I was like, wonder how Gemini's going. And all her lovely guides that come in and have a chat to me. Oh, I tell you, this Mercury energy is full on. Everything. Yeah. See, Mercury. You're in the Mercury. You're probably thinking you're not great, but your energy's good. Okay, you might have some creative things coming up, some creative resources. There also could be a subject to do with mother coming up. But I do get a good energy around you. It's been too much. I feel you. Now, you've got creativity. The 8th house can be tax, debt, legacies, inheritances. But it's creative. It's you are going to have creative ways in which they're going to come up. The Mercury energy can be, for you, your brain, your mind, like too much energy going through it. You can do tapping, right? I didn't necessarily use amethyst. I'd probably use clear quartz. Okay. Why? Okay. Why would I say that? Because what we're purging can be toxins. and old belief systems. And what we want to do is clear it so that we can have the full clarity on the other side of it. So during it, it can be like assimilation, a purge of the ego, or it can be that we've already gone through that and we're having revelation after revelation. So I would probably use clear quartz. Yeah. You're going to have an interesting 2026, I tell you. You desire something different. Okay, love. Take care. Okay, you desire something different. You're sort of like in that mindset of lots coming at you, too much information. Could have been having paranoia about what people are saying, or even, just in general, it's like just paranoia, just too much going on. Now, the interesting space is when this comes up, it's coming up in the heart space, and this is about a person who's looking up at the cup. It's like the glass half full notion, lack mentality, boredom. Uranus moving into your zodiac sign was always going to do that. Now, it could be that you just want to throw caution to the wind. You want to be fancy free. You don't want to be responsible anymore. Sometimes we can have an adult temper tantrum. We're all human. We have that kind of threshold that we can get to. And you just feel pulled in multiple directions, but it's ever so stock and boring. So you want to liberate yourself. You want to be in a different vibration. You want to be I want to be free to co-create. But there also can be some other things that are pulling at you, which can be family, a parent figure, duties. Again, I do feel creativity is something that is coming up quite a lot. We have the Empress here, so yeah. Sometimes you do look also at your romantic situation and say, what is holding them up? It's not like they have children or anything. And so that can be a point of conflict for you. But overall, I do feel that you are quite self-focused and you do have some new manifestations coming in within your life. But there is going to be a bit of a change of plans, and it might throw a bit of a spanner in the works because your emotions and what you move through, it could be that you decide to pull the pin on certain things that you've directly invested in, and you move in a different direction. And I would say not necessarily jump to pulling the pin, but rather reschedule. Pause. You might need to take a trip. There could be a trip that's coming up. This could be through choice or necessity. It could be to get grounded. It may be to have that break so that you can look at things differently. You don't even know where you're going at the moment. And they're saying, don't ask where. Ask why. Okay, you could have a guide on the other side that speaks some riddles. I still do see this person intercepting. What do I mean by that? This person has a lot of chemistry for you. It's like they want to enter and they want to communicate with you, but it feels inappropriate. I do feel there's been a few close misses here. I still do see this in the cards for you. This is a card that constantly comes up where there is an intimate liaison between the both of you. It doesn't feel it goes to full, but it's where it opens Pandora's box. It keeps coming up. Something in this does feel that it's set to shift. It does. There has been some near misses, but it does feel almost like you've missed it, or it's almost like you're moving away or you're doing something. There's been a few close calls there. This could be a kiss. But they do say that once this situation occurs, there's no going back. And I think they're making a reference to they know that so. Even though they might have been recommending that you go off and you do other things, it's not what they're wanting. They do worry that you're going to do that. They've made a reference also to a parent figure. They're wondering when you're going away. They're wondering when you're going away. They do worry about that. And they also feel that they, not that they're wanting to have, they don't want to be the bad guy, but I think they're growing that. They do feel that if you went away, that they wouldn't be the same. But I think very, very soon, if you were to, I actually feel that they'd be forced to make a major decision about isn't it working, and what direction they were going to go. You do have some opportunities coming up in your career, but they're saying try to keep your schedule light moving into 2026, because more's coming and you just don't want to block yourself in to something that you may not necessarily resonate with as you're moving forward. I hope that helps. But yeah, just ground yourself moving through this eclipse. Because being that you are Mercury in nature, glitches in technology, uploads, you name it, Dawn, it can be something that is coming up quite a bit. Other than that, like I mentioned, we do have the membership open that you directly can jump on if you're wanting to sign up. There goes my crystal. Separately, we do have the sale up. So if you are wanting to grab your session that is on sale, feel free. And I will see you on the other side. Take care.